Alrighty, buckle up, kids, because this one's going to get the ladies boarding the denial train faster than a feminist blaming the patriarchy for her own bad decisions. Today, I'm going to talk about something that a lot of men experience, but don't always have the space or freedom to say out loud. And ladies, if you're actually watching this, maybe don't just click off because it might hurt your fifis. Stick around and instead pay attention for once. You might actually learn something because this isn't actually a woman bashing video. It's actually about awareness. Awareness of how men actually think and feel and what they experience. Not how you and your girlies have convinced yourselves what men think, feel, and experience, but what they actually do. And it does matter. Matters a lot to you. Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of good relationships get ruined because of a handful of patterns that nobody wants to call out. Patterns that women fall into, which in the end make men feel marginalized, unwanted, unloved, and unappreciated. So if you've ever found yourself in a relationship that went cold, one where your man pulled away emotionally, maybe mentally checked out, stopped communicating with you, or physically left altogether, these might be the reasons why. And men, this video is for you also. It's a chance for you to understand and reflect. A chance for you to find out that you aren't alone in what you're dealing with, both in and out of relationships. So without any further ado, let's jump into the 5 most common mistakes women make that quietly doom relationships. All right, mistake number 1, and I think it's fair to say this one tops pretty much every list you'll ever see from men when they're being honest: trying to change the man. There's that old saying that men marry a woman hoping she won't change, while women marry a man hoping he will. And I do think there's a lot of truth in that. And if it is true, it pretty much seals the fate of every relationship, and not in a good way. Now look, everybody grows, everybody evolves, everybody changes. That's normal. It's a fact of life. I'm not the person I was 10 years ago or 20, and I most certainly am not the person I was 40 years ago when I was in my 20s. I am who I am because of all that I've learned and experienced over the years. And guess what? You will be too. But you see, a lot of women make the mistake of getting into a relationship with a man that in reality they're only half interested in because they think it's their job, their God-given right to turn him into the kind of man they really want. Or as they often put it, make him into the man that he could be if he'd just do what she said and tweaked a few things. You know, things like, once I get him to dress better, or once he starts making more money, or once he stops hanging around with his friends so much, once he starts eating quinoa and doing yoga with me, then he'll be that perfect man that I think exists because I see them all the time in Hallmark and Disney movies. Yeah, no, sorry, ladies. Those movies are fiction, just like it's complete fiction that there is such a thing as a perfect man. Ladies, men aren't projects for you to work on. They're human beings. It is not your place to mold him into whatever you want him to be. What is your place is to stand by him and support him as he becomes the man he wants to be. And yes, darlings, I hate to break it to you, but those two things might be entirely different. And his wants, his needs, his desires, his goal, who he wants to be as a man, come before what you've decided he should be all day, every day. And if you don't like that, then you have no business being in a relationship with him or any other man for that matter. Because when you have that mindset, you're not being supportive. You're being a narcissistic, controlling, and abusive. And when a man feels like he's in constant audition for your approval, and when he's constantly reminded that he isn't quite good enough, he's going to lose interest, and he should. Frankly, he should get out of Dodge as fast as possible, because you're proving you don't love him. No, ladies, what you are in love with is the idea of what he could be. Men want a partner who loves them for who they are today, not what you think you can mold him into tomorrow. And here's the part no one wants to say out loud. Even if he does change to make you happy, it won't matter. It'll never be enough. You'll just move the goalposts time and again, all while you end up resenting him more and more for it because now he isn't the man you weren't attracted to in the first place. It's a no-win game where he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. And either way, he's sure to pay because he didn't figure out on his own by reading your mind exactly what you wanted him to be. Now let's move on to number 2. And ladies, you definitely aren't going to like this one. You'll be boarding that aforementioned denial train to claim I'm not like that faster than a speeding bullet. And that is taking him for granted. At the start of a relationship, most women will at least try to show some appreciation for the little things he does. Oh, thanks for fixing the sink. Thanks for picking up dinner. Thanks for listening to me vent for hours about my coworker's drama. But all too often, for men, that appreciation fades faster than a New Year's resolution to lose weight. The things he does just become expected, or are now considered, wait for it, the bare minimum. Look, ladies, men aren't sitting around craving praise, but we do for damn sure notice when everything we do is invisible, and the only time we hear about it is when something goes wrong. Men get so little appreciation that more often than not, they can tell you down to the day and hour the last time they got any from anyone. No, really, that's how rare it is for men. Appreciation isn't about ego stroking. It's about reminding someone that they matter to you. It's about reminding them that you care and acknowledge all that they do for you. And if you're one of those women, and you probably are, that says, oh, I do that all the time, think again. You might think you do it. You might even believe you do. But the reality is, for most men, the last time they heard their partner say anything nice about them or to them was months, years, even decades ago. And for far too many men, the answer is, it's never happened. And when a man feels like no matter what he does, it's never enough, he mentally starts to check out. And again, he should. Why bother trying when it's never acknowledged, let alone appreciated? So the next time you're wondering why he didn't do what you asked, didn't do it your way, why didn't he jump up and answer your call? The truth is, it's almost certainly because you've never done a damn thing to let him know you appreciated him and all that he does. On to number 3, and one, dare I say, the overwhelming majority of women do, which is weaponizing intimacy. I'm talking about using affection, connection, and, yeah, sex as a tool for manipulation. And let's be real, as I said, a lot of women do this. Hell, I'd argue pretty much every single woman out there does it. They withhold affection when they're mad. They dangle it like a prize when they want something. They use it to punish or reward the man's behavior. They treat intimacy like they would a dog treat. Come here, Fido, and sit. Be a good little boy, and you might get some. But as most men know, even if you do give him his little treat, you're probably just going to break it in half and save the rest for some other time. You'll lay there like a dead fish that just washed up on the shore, counting the minutes till it's over. Oh, you may think we don't pick up on your faking it, but trust me, ladies, we do. And ladies, the minute you turn physical connection into a transaction, it kills all the emotion, all the joy, all the reason for doing it for men. Oh, sure, men will still accept it, but now it's purely about the physical and nothing about the emotional, nothing about the connection. Nope, you've turned it into a business transaction to him. Really no different than if he went and visited one of those women standing on a street corner, if you catch my drift. You know how you ladies just love to say, well, it doesn't count if he didn't want to do it with regard to some gesture you wanted him to make? Guess what? Same applies here in reverse. Oh, men won't always say it out loud, but it makes us feel used, like nothing we do is good enough unless it benefits you directly. And over time, it builds resentment. A lot of resentment. Still not getting it? Still don't understand it? Well, let me use another analogy that might resonate with you a bit more. You know how y'all love to say women will never leave a relationship that they're happy in? Well, guess what? Men will never cheat on a woman that shares true intimacy with them. Yeah, I know you're not going to like hearing that. I know how you love to all just justify other women's cheating and yours by saying, well, if he took care of her needs, then she wouldn't have to cheat. Well, guess what? It works exactly the same way in reverse. And no, that's not my saying it's okay to cheat or trying to justify it. It's just simply reality. A relationship should be a partnership, not a hostage negotiation, not a pure business transaction, which is exactly what most women, especially today, have turned it into. Number 4, and again, this is one men will rarely tell you or talk about, but I assure you for damn sure, it's one of the biggest relationship killers out there. And that is public embarrassment. It blows my mind how this has become all the rage for the ladies to do. They've taken to social media by the millions, trashing their husbands or boyfriends, never thinking or even caring how it might affect him or their relationship. The women who do this do not love their man. They certainly don't care about him, they don't respect him, and the same goes for the entire relationship. When a woman mocks her man, belittles him, or makes him the butt of a joke in front of others, that for men is the ultimate deal breaker. It is the ultimate sign of disrespect. And once it's done, there is no taking it back. There is no apology good enough. No way to recover. That relationship is over. Done. Finished. Oh, sure, he may stick around, but his trust in you, his trust in the relationship, his peace within it, are all gone forever. Men value respect deeply, way more than you realize. A man will stay loyal to a woman who respects him, even if the relationship isn't perfect. Hell, it's why men choose women who are 3s, 4s, and 5s over the 9s and 10s all the time. Respect for him and the relationship trumps everything else. And once that's gone, so is he. He will mentally check out on a woman, any woman who humiliates him in front of others. Jokes about his job, his body, his ideas, his hobby, his earnings, all those little digs you think are harmless just for fun, all those things that you throw out there hoping to get clicks and likes. Trust me, he remembers. He remembers because in that moment, you made him feel small, all to make yourself look clever. It's why I just shake my head at all the women, and they're in the millions, as I said, who make their little diss videos about their man, sharing intimate details about him and their relationship with the entire world, and doing it because they value the likes, clicks, validation, and attention that they think they'll get from complete strangers over anything and everything the man they supposedly love does. That is exactly what's going on. And yet, women have taken to it like a dog to a bone. And when a man feels disrespected, love starts dying a quiet death. And finally, mistake number 5, and again, women just love to do day in and day out, and that's comparing him to other men. Oh God, if women ever knew how often they did this, how obvious they make it. Why can't you be more like my friend's husband? Why don't you plan romantic dates like that actor in the movie? Why aren't you ambitious like your brother? Why aren't you like him? Insert Prince Charming or whomever that dude in Virgin River is. Sorry, but men deal with enough competition in the real world. The last place we need more of it from is some woman who claims to love us but expects us to be something other than what we are. Listen up, ladies. Let me make this as clear as I possibly can. No man wants to feel like he's in constant competition for your approval. Men need to feel like their woman sees them as her man, values him for who he is, not some idealized version of what you think he's supposed to be. And here's the thing. Half the time, hell, almost all of the time, the guys that you're comparing him to wouldn't live up to that fantasy in the real world, nor could they. They're works of fiction. Works of fiction usually created by other women who, just like you, want to believe that perfect man exists. And he wants you above every other woman out there. Child, please, please stop living in that dream world, because it doesn't exist anywhere. Never has, never will. The bottom line is, every single time you compare him to someone else, and most of you do it all the time, you're poisoning the relationship by planting the idea, both in your head and his, that he's not enough as he is. It's death by 1,000 comparisons, and not once in the history of mankind and relationships has it ever worked. So stop. Just stop already. Either accept him for who he is, or let him go so he can find a woman who will. So there you have it. 5 common mistakes that women make that doom relationships. And here's the wild thing. What I just said is something most men will never say a word about. It's not because they don't think or feel those things. It's not because I'm any better or different than them. It's just because I honestly want to help those men, and in turn, help you ladies. And long ago, I learned that playing nice doesn't work, especially when it comes to women. The fact is, most men will do what men have always done. They'll quietly pull away, emotionally, mentally, until one day, poof, physically, they're just gone. And when that day comes, they ain't ever coming back. It's why you're seeing so many men walk away from dating, walking away from marriage, walking away from women completely. They aren't going to speak out. They're not going to speak up. They're not going to be like women and cry and piss and moan, or spend their days on TikTok and Instagram making videos about how lonely they are and how it's all women's fault. It's why, in actuality, there isn't a male loneliness epidemic, but a female one. Because once men cross the bridge of I don't give a shit anymore, they, as I said, aren't ever coming back. They're simply going to go live their lives in happiness, in peace. All right, I want to hear what you think. If you're a guy watching this, drop a comment. Tell me which one hit the hardest. And if there's one I missed, hell, let me know. Let's share some more of them. And if you're a woman watching this, instead of wallowing in pity, wallowing in denial, and saying that I hate women because I said these things, how about you go and take a look in the mirror? Ask yourself, am I guilty of one of these things? Perhaps all of them. Because first of all, you almost certainly are. And maybe, just maybe, if you're willing to acknowledge that, you might one day actually be able to find a happy, healthy relationship with a man. Or you can keep doing what you've been doing. Because, hey, that's working out so well. As always, if you got value from this video, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps grow the channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more. I release new videos every single day. Till next time, have an awesome day.